Hey everyone, today we're going to be doing a basic calculator in Python. This is perfect for you if you're a beginner to Python. We're going to be going over simple operations such as add, subtract, multiply, and divide. If you've ever used a calculator, then this is great. We're going to do it in Python. So you use a calculator. You can do plus, 1 plus 2 is 3. You can do 2 minus 3. It's a negative number. You can do 2 times 2. And you can divide. Super simple calculator right here in your laptop or on your phone, wherever, but we want to be able to do this in a program. So today it's all about learning. We're going to learn how to do operations in Python, and we're going to make a cool program out of it. So let's begin. Similarly to the calculator, we want to give the user the option to choose. Do you want to add or subtract, multiply or divide? So let's allow the user to choose some sort of option. We're going to ask them to select an operation. First operation is going to be add, and then we're going to do number 2 is going to be subtract. Number 3 will be multiply, and number 4 is going to be divide. We are going to show the users these options, and then we're going to need to get the user input, enter choice, either 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then their choice is going to be an integer. So we're going to need to wrap this behind the int method. And last but not least, we need to store this in a variable so that we can use this variable later on. Right now, I'm just going to output the choice, making sure that I'm getting their choice just as we would expect. So let's go ahead and run our program. If I enter an add, choice is 1, looks good. Multiply, choice is 3, cool. Well, I'm getting their input properly. That's awesome. So once we have their choice, we're going to need to get the numbers from the user. We need to get their input, enter number 1, whoops, and then enter number 2. Once again, these are going to be integers, so we're going to use the int operation, and these are going to be in a variable. So we're going to say number 1 and number 2, and these are our variables. Once again, just to make sure we're doing it properly, we can do number 1 and print number 1 here, making sure that we're getting the user input properly. And number 2, let's go ahead and run our program, making sure we're getting the input as we would expect. I'm going to select 2, looks good. My first number is going to be 10. My second number is going to be 5. Number 1 is 10, and number 2 is 5. Awesome. I'm getting the user input properly, so this is really good. I'm going to go ahead and delete my print statements because I no longer need them. But once we have the choice, once we have the numbers, we can actually do the operation. So we can do this as an if statement. So if choice equals 1, do something, else if the choice is 2, do something else. But for this case, we're actually going to learn something new and use a case statement. Case statements are written with the keyword match and then a variable after. And everything below the match is a case. So this right here is a case statement. We're basically saying, I want you to inspect the variable choice. I want you to match it with the cases below. So we're saying if choice is equal to 1, then you do something if it's 1. And in this case, we're going to add. So let's go ahead and print result. And we'll do number 1 plus number 2. And then our case statement is going to check this case right here, 2. Is choice 2? If it is, then we're going to subtract. So I'm going to go ahead and write these out all the way. Number 3, number 4, it's going to be multiply, and this is going to be divide. Okay, so once again, our case statement's checking the value of choice. It's either going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. And we're going to print out the result with the numbers adding or subtracting, multiplied or divided. Add a semicolon here. Cool. So this should be everything. Let's go ahead and run our program and we're going to see it in action. Let's go ahead and add. We'll add 2 and 2. 2 and 2 is 4. Let's go ahead and subtract. How about 5 from 2? Whoops. Look, I selected 5 and nothing happened. That's funny. All right, let's check this out. So if we happen to enter a bad choice where it's not 1, 2, 3, or 4, we can handle that in our case statement here. We have this default that we can use it with an underscore. This is basically saying if it's none of the above, if it's none of these, then do this. And in this case, I want to print that was not a valid choice. All right, now if I run the option 5 and I select my numbers, it'll say that was not a valid choice, basically implying that my program doesn't know what to do with the option 5. It has to be a 1, 2, 3, or 4. So let's try it again. We're going to subtract this time. We're going to subtract 5 from 2. The result is 3. Let's go in our program. We're going to multiply. How about 3 times 2? 6. Let's run it one more time and do a divide. How about we divide 6 from 3? 2.0. Awesome. These are simple math operations in Python. Add, subtract, multiply, divide. I hope you learned something today. If you did, that's wonderful. Comment, subscribe, and we'll keep on learning in the future. I'll see you later.